Hey all, Hibber here. So we're back in the Yamato here, and this is even one of those more rare division battles. Here in this case it's with Peak and Bravo. And I just thought this was an interesting battle to put out here because it kind of shows off some of the things that you have to think about when you are a community contributor. Like, first of all, you have to make your videos a little bit exciting. And that's why I go on and on about ships like Cleveland, because they're really boring, first of all, to play, and they also make for very, very boring videos of a player sitting somewhere behind an island and spamming HE. Nobody really wants to watch that for 15 minutes. I know I don't. So that's why you have to play ships that are fun to watch, crowd pleasers. And that usually means that you don't have to, you can't really play the best ships in the game. Except for the fact that Yamato is always a popular ship, and in my opinion it's the best legendary battleship, along with Conqueror maybe, but it's definitely good. I really like to play it, and being probably the best battleship, and a crowd pleaser that you can do interesting videos with, it makes it a favorite among at least some of the CC I know. Because it kind of ticks all the boxes when you're doing content. You also need to keep in mind that don't zoom in and out too much, because that's really annoying to watch when you're watching the video. I mean, sometimes you can't get around it, but you should keep in mind that zooming in and out all the time, it makes for bad videos. And that's why it's another thing as a CC, and there's a very nice citadel there. There's another thing as a CC you have to keep in mind that like you are both playing the game, but you're also making a movie. So you have to keep things in like camera angles in mind, and if you can get an action-packed shot by somehow pointing the camera in a way that you wouldn't normally do when playing, well, you have to do that. And of course that makes it extra difficult, especially when you are usually being targeted as one of the first players. So it is, I'm not gonna say it's difficult to be a CC, but it's definitely not easy. So it's always nice to play in a division with good players here, like in this case here, Peak, probably, but if not the best battleship player, then at least in the top 3, I guess. And we also have Bravo Foxtrot. He's not in a destroyer in this battle here, but he's in a carrier, which is, I don't know if that's unusual, but I usually run into him when he's in a destroyer, and if that's the case, you're in for a very, very tough fight, especially if you play solo. So here all these HE spamming cruisers here have got Peak and me on the run, and obviously my 2 battleships running away does not make for good videos. So I'm trying to coordinate with Peak here over the microphone that we should turn and turn at the same time, so I can get a very good shot of that. I don't think I told Peak that, by the way, but that was my plan. So so we're not really at the moment here watching the game that much. At least I'm not. I'm trying to get a like a good looking turn that takes us from defensive gameplay into more offensive gameplay. And that's why I'm trying to do over the microphone now. And as you can see, I'm getting Peak to go along here. And as you'll see in a moment here, we'll be turning in unison, joining the fight again. And well, if you ask me, I think it looks pretty cool with 2 CC camo Yamatos turning around and heading into the fray. I wish there was a replay mode in this game where you could, put up the camera angles exactly as you wanted, and I mean, that way you could do some really, really cool movies, just like in World of Tanks. Unfortunately, we don't have that, so you'll have to, make do with stuff like this. And I know we're not under fire at the moment, so we're actually able to do something cool like this. But while you are under fire, like I said before, you still have to keep these things in mind. You have to make an engaging and interesting and usually action-packed video, and at the same time you have to play the game and try to win, and Also try not to be focused, because that is the eternal plight of community contributors. The fact that you will get focused to certain degrees. I mean, sometimes the whole enemy team takes you on, sometimes it's just your spawn, and sometimes it's just a ship or two. But you will always be focused. So I am running Kondo in this battle here, the Commander Kondo, and I have a reload focused build along with a tank build, because as you can see I have 4 heals, and if I know peak, then he's running Takagi. I'm assuming he's running Takagi with a range and AP focused build. So there are 2 different builds here, and on this map on shots, if I could pick, I would go with my build, because usually you don't need that much range on this map here. Especially if you start at B like we did, you can pretty much reach any ship on the map with a 16-17 kilometer range. You don't need the extra kilometer or 2. Of course it's nice, but I prefer the faster reload on these smaller maps here. So I was pretty happy that I picked Kondo for this battle here. I know some people don't like him, and that's fair enough, but I actually think he's the best commander for Yamato, because with him you can get the reload down to just around 21-22 seconds, I think, and I mean that is nasty on what is probably the most dangerous battleship in the game. So that's why I like it. And then of course with 4 heals I am not afraid to be set on fire or having to tank damage for an extended period, which you have to do in battleships, because I have plenty of heals, and if I can just not get citadeled and not get torpedoed, then I can last forever with 4 heals, pretty much. The need to create interesting videos, and like videos that people actually want to watch, also kind of keeps at least me from playing ships with smoke, simply because that the videos you get out of that tend to be pretty boring. I mean, once you play smoke equipped ships, you tend to sit in your smoke, obviously, and shoot at other ships unspotted. And well, that's effective, absolutely, but it doesn't make for interesting viewing, at least not for me anyway. So that's why there's really, for me at least, there's a very limited selection of ships that make for fun gameplay. And most of those are agile cruisers equipped with torpedoes, I think, where you can do those, interesting plays. That, I kind of sometimes compare it to, racing cars, where, like, if you are driving a normal racing car around the track, yeah, you'll probably get faster around the track than someone who's drifting around the track. But on the other hand, what's more fun to watch? I mean, in my opinion, the drifting is more fun to watch. And not that racing is boring, but if you had to choose. And that's kind of the philosophy I apply in this ship here. So one of my new wishes for this game, and I have a few wishes now, and one is stats, another one is clans, and obviously now I really want a replay mode. So I can replay the battles, and I can, set up the camera angles exactly the way I want them. And that way I can do, well, I should be able to do some quite interesting videos then. Like I said in the beginning, just like in World of Tanks, where you can, you can really do some good-looking stuff that almost looks like a movie in that game, and also obviously turn the HUD off and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we can't do that yet. I don't know if we will ever be able to do it, but it certainly would be an amazing addition to the game. So perhaps I will annoy Prince Blip with another question about this in the CC Discord. I don't think I've asked about that before, so I'll give him a question, and I'll let you know what he says. But it's probably going to be, well, there are no plans for that at the moment. I'm guessing that would be the answer, but it can't hurt to ask, can it? But yeah, anyway, Yamato, it is a crowd pleaser. It's one of those battleships everyone likes to watch, along with Bismarck. And I know I don't play Bismarck very often because I don't like the ship. But Bismarck videos are always popular. And so are Yamato videos, especially in like divisions here, where I mean you can show the ship from a different side that you can when you play solo, and that's always worth it, I think. The reason I like Yamato is that it's just raw power. I mean, it doesn't really have any, funny sides to it, or, any gimmicks like rolling smoke or improved penetration or anything like that. It's just a ship, a very, traditional battleship, like a ABX layout, and it's just about big guns, basically. That's it. And I mean, it's not invincible. It's actually one of the more easy to citadel legendary battleships, but it is just powerful. And I mean, the sound of those guns is just out of this world, I think, as well. I remember when we first got to play the ship, back when it was being tested around Christmas 2020, I think. Anyway, doesn't matter. And I fired those guns the first time, and I thought, wow, that sounds amazing. And it does. And it's just hard not to pick this battleship here over any other legendary battleship, I think. Well, first of all, because it actually existed. I mean, not only that, actually two of them existed, Musashi and Yamato. And I mean, that is already there. It's just more interesting to play this ship than Montana or Conqueror or something like that. Something that never existed. It's just not as fun, I think. And then, of course, it's a well-known ship, just like Bismarck, like I said, and it's also an extremely powerful ship. I mean, those 18-inch guns, they take no prisoners. So I enjoy the fact that usually, when I'm supposed to get a citadel in the ship here, I do get a citadel. Usually, of course, sometimes RNG just plays you for a fool, but I mean, as I said, usually I find this ship here to be like a rewarding play, and really that's what I want out of this game. I want to have fun, I want to be rewarded, and I want to have a good time, basically, and that's what Yamato gives me. And it does that even if I play solo, even if I play in division or whatever I do. It's just a very, very solid ship. Simple ship, yes, but very solid and lots of fun. So that was a division battle here, Double Trouble CC, and I hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I'll see you out there.